This video right here is probably the angriest I've ever in my life seen Barack Obama. Now, he's not yelling, he's not using profanity, but you can clearly tell that the man is not happy right now, and you can clearly tell that the man want to use profanity. And for those of you who don't know, Barack Obama just came out on camera and had a public announcement for black men. Not black people, not Americans, black American men. So listen, I'm going to need all the black American men to come to the front of the congregation. Come on to the front of the congregation. I need y'all to come up here with me so we can listen together to what Barack Obama has to say to us. Why he's so angry with us. And on your way up here to the front of the congregation, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thank you all for being here. Let's see what the heck this man got to say and why he's so upset with us.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Kamala Harris supposedly grew up like us, understands the struggle, went to college with us, but she didn't marry one of us? He's talking to black men. So this is my first response to you, Barack Obama. She understands the struggle. This is the confusing part to me. We're not talking about somebody who's trying to get into the White House, Barack Obama. We're talking to somebody who's been in the White House the last 3.5 years. And for those of you who are going to hop in the comment section and say, well, she wasn't the president, she was only the vice president, she had no pull, she had no say-so, you can no longer use that argument. You know why? Kamala Harris debunked that. She said otherwise. She said she was a part of all the decision-making. Most of the decision-making, she said the biggest decision-making she was a part of. She came out herself and said that.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
So you can't use that against her anymore. You said, Barack Obama, that a decision that is this clear. Why? Because she's a woman, or because she's black? I'm not really understand. Because she's colored, or I'm not really understanding your angle here. Because the last time I checked, Kamala Harris said, of course she's not going to do anything just to help black people. She's going to do things to help all people, which I'm about helping all people. But the point is, she's already made it clear to black people, you're not a priority for me. This administration over the past 3.5 years has communicated that the black community, which is by far the worst community in America economically from a whole bunch of different perspectives, you're not going to do anything to help us. So help me understand what we missing here. The brothers, that is. Barack Obama, you was in office for 8 years. You're not seeing the turnout. It's because we had never seen you before. We wanted to give you a chance. A lot of us voted for you because we thought you represented something. Barack Obama, name 5 things you did for the black community besides give hope, besides representation, which many of you out there, especially a lot of y'all black folks, are going to argue that that's enough. What did he do for black people? Name it. You want the same turnout for Kamala Harris? First of all, y'all, it's not the same thing anyways. She's not articulate like you. She's not as brilliant as you. She's not as manipulative as you are. None of those things. But should we go there yet? I should wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to shut up.
Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals.
When? What? There's no way you said this with a straight face, Mr. Obama. Kamala Harris is presenting concrete proposals where? When? Show them to me. Where? This woman get asked a substantive question. She's talking about her childhood. What are we talking about here?
To directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities.
Stop the
From
cap.
housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine. And making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act so everybody's got help here and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
So let me get this straight. Let's go with their track record, because again, this isn't somebody who's trying to get into the White House for the first time. This is a person who's already been in the White House and a person who has history in politics well before that point. Should we go with their track record? Should we talk about inflation? Should we talk about the hurricane? Should we talk about the stuff that's happened with the migrant crisis? Should we talk about all the things that's happening in this country? You tell me how the black community is doing any better in the past 3.5 years compared to any other year. How? In what ways has the black community improved? Since you talking to the brothers, what has she done for the brothers? It's because we don't want a woman leading. I could get into that personally and my thoughts about that personally. I can't speak to all black men as a whole, so I won't even talk about my opinions on that, because I'll be real with you when it comes to that. But it's not even about that. If you are the representative of the Democratic Party, what are you about? When has she presented that? She hasn't. She quite literally has a track record, just like you, Barack Obama, that a lot of us just don't happen to agree with. So no, when we against her, don't make it about a sex thing, because we against other people. God knows I have my complaints and my gripes about Trump. But if you're going to force me to choose between Trump and Kamala Harris,
and I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
Again, I have my gripes with Trump. Quite a few of them. How has he denigrated us? You gonna go to the Central Park 5? I understand the details around that. What else? How has he denigrated black men as a whole? How? Tell me. Last time I checked, it was Kamala Harris on camera that said she won't do anything for just the black community. Tell me. Tell me. Why is Kamala Harris not using her real name? Did you know that Kamala Harris is not her real name? Tell me. You know why Barack Obama is on camera talking about this, right? Because the polls aren't turning out the way they thought. The polls aren't turning out the way that they thought. The way that they'd hoped. That's what's happening. It's because we're not idiots. And they want to treat us like we're idiots. We're supposed to vote for Kamala Harris simply because she's quote unquote black, because she's a woman, because she's Democrat and our family voted Democrat, so we should just keep the tradition going. Last time I checked, they said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. How'd that work? I hate it when you all generalize when it's in your favor, but you don't like generalizations when it doesn't support you or it doesn't benefit you. We're not voting against black women. We're not voting against women in our community. Those who are choosing to not vote for Kamala, that being the brothers, since that's who Barack Obama is talking to, are choosing to not vote for Kamala Harris. Not for all black women. Trying this reverse psychology and this trying to trip the mind and guilt trip and, identity politic your way into getting us to vote for this woman when she is a fraud and everybody knows she's a fraud. At least be good at being a fraud. She sucks at it, bro. Where y'all find her at? Barack Obama, despite the fact of all the backlash he's gotten for what he didn't do for the black community during his 2 terms in office, I still have a lot of respect for Barack Obama. The way he carries himself, the swagger he carries himself with, the politeness he treats people with. I do respect Barack Obama a lot when it comes to that. Because he set the standard. We're not talking about policies. We're not talking about record. Clearly the way he carried himself. I respected him. But don't ever come on camera, I don't care who you are, addressing me or other black men, but I'll speak for myself, addressing me as a black man because I'm choosing to use my brain. In the 10th grade, I heard for the first time the phrase, use your head for more than a hat rack. Black men, my message to you respectfully, don't listen to Barack Obama. Listen to your brain, bro. Not your heart. Use logic and use your head for more than a hat rack. Hop in the comment section. Y'all give me y'all thoughts, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Diddy got a podcast.